back. There's been an outcry over proposed changes to the Road Accident Fund. It will see the end of lump sum payments and payouts to foreign nationals and hit-and-run victims will also be stopped. Legal and medical experts say this will be catastrophic. So let's find out more from Deputy Transport Minister Lisa Mangcu. And we thank you so much, DM, for joining us. A very warm good morning to you. I think before we get into, the pushback and resistance from some medical experts, what exactly is the significant part of some of the changes coming on to the Road Accident Fund?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to talk to you and to your viewers. Firstly, let's say the Road Accident Fund, as you say, many people are complaining about numerous things. Now, maybe to go straight to what you are asking. For instance, number one, with the current legislation, you are unable to submit a claim electronically in the Road Accident Fund. You must submit a paper, which causes the problems of piling of paper we have had recently. That is an amendment that is being proposed. The second one is a proposal that a person who should be eligible to claim from the Road Accident Fund is a person who got involved in a car accident or crash on a public road rather than anywhere else. Thirdly, it limits the issue of people who are not South African citizens from claiming from the Road Accident Fund. It also introduces what we call a Road Accident Fund Ombudsman, a place or a decision of the Road Accident Fund could be able to appeal to before going into a court process that at times is more expensive. Those are some of the issues I can highlight.
Yeah. Broadly, DM, would you say that the model is moving from one of compensation to benefits?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, DM. Can you hear me?
Could you repeat that one?
I was just asking that, would you say that broadly the bill is moving from a compensation model to one that now has benefits, that speaks more of benefits than compensation?
That is correct. That is a big emphasis in the bill, moving away from, moving in the direction you've explained, 100%.
What do you make then of this pushback and this criticism by some legal experts saying that this is more to negate, compensation in cases or some cases entirely, and to almost cut back on support offered to road accident victims? I'm sure you've heard of this criticism, also some calling it quite catastrophic. But what do you respond to this?
Well, firstly, I have had the pushback, I've had the criticism, which is most welcome in a democratic dispensation, because here there's nobody who's shoving anything down anybody's throat, but is saying, here is a bill, here's what the Road Accident Fund and the department is thinking in terms of rectifying the things that we believe many people are not happy with the Road Accident Fund. And it gives people an opportunity to criticize, propose. But what is very amazing so far in what the pushback has been, I have had very little of proposals of saying, this is how you would rather do it. Because the fact of the matter is that we cannot leave things the way they are. Things have not been going the way we want to. There is good progress, but there are certain things that need to happen. They might as well be drastic. Can I remind you also?
Yes, DM, we're listening, if you're still with us. Deputy Minister Lisa Mangcu, are you still with us? We seem to have lost Deputy Transport Minister Lisa Mangcu. We'll try and get a hold of him if we can and have time to continue with our conversation. I seem to be hearing something, DM. Are you still with us?
I am with you. I don't know what could be the interference.
Apologies.
I am, and I'm hearing you very well.
Apologies. I think we have a technical, disturbance there with our line, but perhaps let's try again just to hear you with your point. Perhaps if you can just start off with your point again. All right, we've definitely lost Deputy Minister of Transport, Lisa Mangcu. We'll try and get a hold of him, especially as soon as after we've established a clear connection, as he was trying to give us his point. This with regards to a pushback that he says he's aware of, that he has seen, not only from the legal side, but even from medical experts. Let me try once again. My team said that he might be back with us. DM, we're trying once again. If you can hear me, please continue with your point.
I've been hearing you all the time. Is it better now?
It's a lot better now, DM. Thank you for your patience.
Now?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. The point I'm making is that, yes, we have heard of the criticism. We have heard of the pushback, specifically from the from the medical fraternity. And I'm saying it's not unexpected in a democratic dispensation. This is a draft bill with proposals which might be drastic, as you suggest, but we're inviting people not only to criticize, but to suggest what could be able to do the things that we want to do, because all of us want a functioning and a proper responsible road accident fund.
Also, I mean, we know that besides the medical front, DM, is also the legal front. The likes of Advocate Justin Erasmus, chairperson of the Personal Injury Plaintiff Lawyers Association, representing around 300 personnel injury lawyers, saying they're moving quite heavily against this bill. About 5,000 objections, I understand, have already been raised against the bill, arguing that the laws negatively impact on the rights of drivers, passengers, as well as pedestrians. Is that the intention here, to almost take away those rights from all involved, be it drivers, pedestrians, be it passengers, in as far as compensation is concerned whenever there's a motor vehicle accident?
I do not see that intention here, taking those rights. But me not being a lawyer, maybe a lawyer could have seen it. And obviously, once we see those objections, we'll be able to get our own teams to apply their minds and give proper advice, which we will give direction. But however, some of the things that might not be pleasing to many people is that it creates an opportunity, for instance, to remove the agents, where people have an option to directly deal with the road accident fund, which is receiving a lot of rejection. It also deals with a portion where we want to extend the time. Currently, the legislation says once the application comes in, or the claim rather, within 14 days, or rather a court order, 14 days, we are proposing 120 days to give the RAF an opportunity also financially to be able to be sustainable. So in the previous bill that I spoke about, the REBS bill, there was also serious opposition, particularly from parts of the legal fraternity. But until we see them, until we see the arguments, we are unable to be able to concisely say, yes, they've got a point here, they do not have a point. That is one of the purposes of the bill, going out for comments, so that we can have that criticism, which obviously is welcome, but most importantly, we need proposals of solving the challenges we have.
DM, if I may just perhaps ask you to elaborate more on the point that you've made regarding a possible motive behind the pushback that you're seeing from either medical, experts and the medical fraternity, as well as the legal fraternity. The issue around third parties being involved, where, claimants are concerned, where, there has been a motor vehicle accident, or when it's time to, of course, claim from REV.
Now, totally.
Can you hear me, DM? Am I audible enough to you?
Yes, but you broke a little bit at the beginning of your question.
My apologies. Let me just repeat it, and then apologies for the constant disconnection with our line. But I'm asking about the point you made earlier on about, third parties and perhaps this informing the pushback from the legal fraternity as well as the medical fraternity. What do you think could be the possible motive here? I've engaged quite, extensively with some colleagues as well as, some industry, experts trying to understand that is it a matter of perhaps the third parties seeing now that they will not be able to be involved when it comes to claims and assisting claimants with RAP? Do you think that this could be a potential possibility behind this pushback?
Yes, certainly, as it regards to some or part of the legal fraternity, that is our suspicion. That is where the pushback comes in, removing the middleman. That is part of those objections. When it relates to the medical fraternity, the sense I'm getting is that let me paint a scenario. Currently, if you are charged on the road accident fund claim to do a hip replacement, for argument's sake, let's say it cost 1,000 rand. I'm being now hypothetical, to do a hip replacement. When you claim in the road accident fund, many of these professionals would claim 5,000 rand. And yet, if I go straight to a hospital, I'm able to claim, to be charged 1,000 rand, for instance, as an example. Now, these are some of the things that I suspect that people will now not be able to claim exorbitantly from the road accident fund. But again, I'm speculating here because I've not seen anything in writing other than the statements that are made and the threats that are made, which do not assist. Because what is important is to put the points forward, and then we are not going to rough it through and disregard anything. But we've got a responsibility to bring order and stability in the road accident fund. This is an attempt to do that, subject to us getting satisfaction that indeed it passes the legal and constitutional muster.
We'll leave it there. And thank you so much, Deputy Minister, not only for speaking to me, but also patiently, of course, navigating through with me through our line and having this important discussion. That's Deputy Minister of Transport, Deputy Minister Lisa Mangcu, joining us regarding some of the changes that may be looming with regards to the Road Accident Fund. There's been an outcry over some of the proposed changes with regards to the fund from both the legal as well as the medical fraternity, and giving us his perspective there.